and this is your clap, which we're going to work on next. So if we unsolo that and solo the clap, and now what we're going to do is bring up the volume. Right, with the clap, we've already got EQ on there. With this EQ, I already mixed it earlier, but what we're gonna do, we just drag that down, drag that back, and just play it from the start. Right, and with this mix, the frequencies are around about here. So all of this space here, we don't really need to use. You know, and so what we're gonna do is set that to 48. And when you're mixing your claps or anything, if you want to set that to 48 dB, and then just all you need to do is just drag it so it takes out the low, so you don't need to worry about the frequencies on the low side of things. So all you need to do is press play game. What we're doing with this here, right? We're just trying to make it sound a bit more, not so wide. It's more of a quick clap. So when we clap, we want a quick clap. We don't want to have the frequency so big that it interferes with your bass or your kicks when you're playing it loud. So, and that's the thing where you need to know what you need to know how to do. You need to know the frequencies when you're mixing your claps, because you don't want your clap to sound too distorted. So that's why I tend to come in this section here and try to make it. I try to not make it sound so wide. So with this clap, it sounds great. I've got no problem with this clap. We're taking it with the low frequencies. So we'll just come off that and grab a compressor. And with this compressor, we'll set to 30. Yeah, that sits really well. And also, what I'm going to do with this clap, I'm going to put a bit of reverb on it. And what you want to do when you're doing reverbs is set it to a bus. That's the easiest way that I can say to people, because if you've got 30-40 tracks and you put a reverb on every single track, your computer's going to delay, and it's going to literally like just keep stopping and starting in Logic Pro X. I'm telling you that now. There's a thing with Logic Pro which, if you have too many VST plugins, it tends to crash and you would have to start again. So what I found out was, if we just put all your plugins on, like your reverb, your delays, if you set it to a bus, it just makes it more easier. So if we go send to a bus, so we say bus 3, we send it to a bus 3, and then what you want to do is go to your mixer, which is X, just press X, and now you want to look for bus 3. Right, so we've got auxiliary, which is here at that's the channel that we just bus to, and we've got bus 3 here, right? So bus 3, we're gonna say reverb. So we made a bus which is on bus 3, which is the reverb, and all you need to do is get a reverb back. So we're gonna use the Space Designer. Go stereo. And at the moment we haven't put any sends to the bus 3 on the volume wise. So what we want to do is come out of the mixer, and we want to turn up the volume on the bus, which is here. So if we listen to the clap, turn this up. Now you can hear we've got a bit of reverb in there. We don't want too much reverb, we just want a little bit of reverb so it fills in the gaps. And also what you want to do is, this is your pan. So when you're mixing your music, you always want to, use your pan, because if you don't use your pan, on what the pan does is all it is your left or your right or the center. So when you're mixing drums, snaps, claps, what you want to do, you want to keep your drums always in the center and your bass always in the center. So when I mean center, I mean something like this. You can tell that's in the center because that's in the middle. With the claps, we want to at least put that to 12. So now you can hear the difference. If we put it way down, you can hear the difference. We'll keep that number. We keep that 11 actually. So we're gonna keep that 11. I'm happy with that clap. It sounds great. And now we're gonna go into the next clap. Let's turn up the volume. With this clap, it sounds very poor, and it's not exciting. So the first thing you want to do is go to your channel EQ. Is remove the other frequencies, which is over here. Before it was a bit wide. We just want to shorten up that clap. Just want to shorten up the clap. Like I said, on the other clap, we had to shorten that up because what's happened is with the frequency, it's too wide and it will start rumbling when you're playing it on higher speakers. When you're playing in speakers, like festivals or you're playing in the car, the music's kind of like distort. So imagine like a record player. With the record player, you can hear some of that bass at the bottom, which you don't want to hear, and you don't want to hear no distortion. So that's why with the claps, we tend to make it sharp as possible. That sounds better already. So all you need to worry about is taking out the frequencies over here, over this section, and worry about this section as well. Like I say, these are the main two things that you need to worry about, is this part here and that part there. And you always want to use a channel EQ on every single instrument to take out the low frequencies or the high frequencies. So we're going to add a compressor on. We're going to set this to 30. Yeah, we'll set that to 30. We put that to 2. On this clap, I'm not going to touch the makeup because I feel like it sounds great already. So I'm not going to touch that. It doesn't need to be touched. The frequencies sound okay. So let's take off the compressor and let's hear it without it. You can already hear the difference already. And with the compressor and the kick, it's going to sit really well together. And when the kick hits really hard, it's not going to overdo the clap. So the clap and the kick's going to sit quite tight together. And with the clap, remember what I said before? About the pan. The pan was to the 11. And what we want to do is pan this to the 11 on the right side. The other clap was pan to the left side. We want to pan that to the right side.